Hey
What's up,
Tay,
bro?
how you doing, man?
All right, chilling. What's good?
Hey man, just working outside, trying to get some sun. What are you doing?
Nothing.
That's
Trying to
cool.
get my phone. It was acting up for some reason.
Hey, I know mine needs an update, so restarting always helps.
Yeah,
I want to thank you for doing this interview. We talked last time, and shortly after our interview, you had heard some bad news,
yeah.
which was Josh Stevens passing away at the age of 27. Um, one of my students at ICB, your classmate, and you guys met at ICB. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are some things that you really liked about Josh?
Well, Josh was more like my little brother, man, than a friend. He actually was my little brother. I guess one of the things I liked about him was that he was original. He didn't try to put on no fronts. He cared about people. He was there if you needed him. And if you didn't need him, he always had a open heart. For somebody to do music, you would think like, he was kind of arrogant, and he wasn't at all. He was a really down to earth person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So much that sometimes I was kind of upset at him for being so down to earth and understanding with people. Like, hey, you got to toughen up a little bit, but he saw the good in people. So
He did. He was really passionate. I found that one thing that I always noticed was he was always writing. He was never afraid to push himself and get out there and rap in front of somebody he had just met. And then also willing to take criticism. And after he would be done going through some of his writing, really, what did you think about that? You don't hear that all the time. A lot of people have egos where they don't really care what you thought about it, but he always wanted to improve. Um, and then sometimes he would ask me certain things beforehand, like preparation questions. So really always on it as a student. He had an interesting way of writing. I thought there was a lot of words that a lot of other rappers don't usually use, and I mentioned
yeah.
that recently. But what will you miss the most? Not having Josh around.
What I miss most is not having my brother, man. I mean, music was one thing. We did a lot of music together. We were actually, about to work on some new stuff. He came over my house just about every day, and just having my little brother around, being able to talk to him, being able to give him advice. When you talk about his lyrical content, that's one thing that we always, had, conversations about, because he was a very lyrical person. He didn't settle. He didn't want to mumble rap. He didn't want to, join the latest fad or nothing. He always wanted to be, a lyricist, and that's what he was. And I missed that drive that he gave me, because he would write songs, and I would, hear him, and then I'd write harder. He'd hear what I wrote, and he, a lot of times want to rewrite what he did. It was, we worked off of each other. We built off each other. We taught each other a lot, and I miss that friendship, that bond we had.
Well, my thoughts on it. I'm a pretty empathetic person, and I think about what he would have gone through. I've talked to you about this and what his last moments were. Without being too somber, I just reflect on that, and I wonder. Well, it aggravates me that he was so good that he should have gotten his time in the limelight. I wish that he was heard more, and I hope that he will be heard in the future more, because us as artists, that's the one thing that we kind of leave with the world is our thoughts, our innermost. I don't want to say secrets, but I want to say we put ourselves all the way out there, 100%.
Yeah, most definitely.
And he did that like we're talking here. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I think about a lot of artists out there that have even lived longer lives and still never got heard, and their talent was immenseful. So, yeah, my next question would be, talk to me about that graduation video that you guys did, because I know you released that, and I hadn't seen it for a really long time when you posted it, so that was awesome. But my one question about it is, was it played at the graduation at ICB?
Yeah, it actually was at our graduation.
Okay.
It was played, which it was kind of like that was his idea. He wanted to write a song called Graduation. Because he wanted to succeed at school. You know what I'm saying? He already saw the future for him. And when we wrote that song, he already, he came to me. He already had the idea. He already had the hook. And he was like, man, do you want to get on a song with me? And I'm like, yeah. And when he spit the hook, I was listening to it. I listened to the music. I'm like, okay. So, he actually had almost his whole parts done before I even touched it. Like I said, he had the hook. He was already probably 3/4 finished with his verse. So, I had to, by the time he let me hear it, it was basically I'm playing, wrap up. He wanted me to end the song. And I didn't know at the time we did it that it was going to, be one of those songs that you can play, that will end up being played at, ICB graduations now. It's kind of like, wait a minute, I think, yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's kind of like, I always wanted to make songs that are timeless. I always want to make a hit. That's how I write a lot of times. But Graduation was one of those songs that I really didn't know would have a real meaning after we did it, because it not only was one of the best songs that we did together, it, like I said, at the end of us going to school, they actually played it. And I think they might still play it sometimes now, I'm not sure. But it's like, he had the vision to do that. He had that vision to think ahead, to give the world something and give, our fellow classmates something, because everybody that we graduated with, basically that song got played for them, while we were up there, when they were up there. So it's like, it wasn't just for us, it was for everybody. So.
Yeah, we're talking about Josh Stevens, aka Nightmare, who had passed away 3 weeks ago. Josh Stevens, ICB graduate. I wasn't sure about that video being played or not because I was there, but it's been a while, and when I watched it again, I was like, man, there's some language in this, so I don't remember it. I don't know. I'm surprised that it was that passed went through, but typically with the way that goes, if it's good enough, even though there's maybe some swearing, that it's going to go through. But
well, they can play the swearing parts. They mainly played the hook. You know what I'm saying, in the clean parts of it. But I mean, just to have that, it meant something because it was at the graduation. It was our parents there, stuff like that. So it's like, we're not only graduating, but we're a part of the event.
Right.
So it's like.
It's kind of coming back to me now. A lot of people are standing. Mostly the people in the back were standing, but there was a lot of audience participation when that video is played. And the way that those graduation videos are played, those people who don't know, is there are clips of different students throughout that year or that semester that people are graduating and shining a little bit of a light on the best moments of their college career. So shout out to ICB for doing that. Really, really good stuff. And I think that even you mentioned that video had more meaning after it was done. I think that it has even more meaning now, particularly because some of the things that Josh had said in that video. So if you guys want to check on YouTube, and I believe, is it called The Graduation Song? Is that correct?
Yeah, The Graduation official music video.
Okay. Cool. And I haven't mentioned this, but this is a picture of you with Josh Stevens there and Freddie May. And talk to me about the other two guys here.
One on the other side of me is Eric. There's a few guys, guys that I knew from before I went to school. Yeah, right there. before I went to school at ICB, just guys I was doing music with. And once I, started going to ICB, I pulled them in, let them see what I was doing, helped them on a couple music projects and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he went down to Atlanta, and I think he got some recognition, I believe, correct, on one of the video games.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly which one it was, but
I think it might have been a GTA.
Maybe. Yeah, something like that.
So, I'm also in this picture, but you can't see me. I'm all the way to the left over here.
Yeah, I see you.
You see me? Oh yeah, no, I'm right here. I'm right on the corner here. Let's see, right there. Yeah. That's it. Yep. So there's Josh Stevens right behind me. Yeah, it's a great picture. That's in Studio A at ICB. Some solid history right there. Right. You don't realize how much fun you're having sometimes in the moment, and then that moment's gone, and then you look back at it and you think, well, I was maybe unhappy about this, or I was struggling with something that was going on at that time in my life. But overall, you kind of forget some of that, and then you regret not living that moment in fuller. Do you ever have that feeling? Do you ever feel that way?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I miss those days so much, man. It's like, I wish I could go back. I wish it wouldn't have went so quick. It didn't seem quick when I was going.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Now it's like,
time's funny
now
like
you
that.
Look back and it's like, wow, all the friends, man, all the experiences, all the time in the studio, it's just.
You're a family.
Yeah, family. That's exactly it. It's my family, everybody there. It's like family.
As an instructor, you're on a journey with students, and you follow them through the end. And that journey isn't over after you graduate, and we're seeing that right now. If you wanted to, and I really miss working there. I'll tell you, okay, I was super broken-hearted when I got let go from that place. There was some relief because of some of the things I was going through there, but it wasn't as much as the heartbreak that I had.
Right.
I mean, and then on top of that, having a position where I wanted to be in the career in the field in Dayton, Ohio, because with that as an instructor, not only are you gaining prospects and you're helping people, but you're building a community that you love that has to do with music and production and video and audio engineering. Something real special there. So I'll be done talking about ICB here, but what have you been doing lately to motivate yourself? I know you've been writing.
Well, really, just I'm more of a self-motivated person. I'm more of a I use anything that I'm going through is motivation for me. Like Josh, my little brother dying, it motivated me to, it let me see that no matter the age we at, tomorrow's not promised. So everything that we need to do, we need to get done. We need to work, and that motivated me to get back, and write a lot of new stuff. I kind of force myself to write sometimes, if that makes any sense, just, to get the juices flowing. It's, certain things that, sometimes it might be, just taking a walk or, thinking about something I'm going through or, thinking about world events. I try to draw motivation from everywhere. Anything that's possible that can affect my mind state, I want to write about it. I want to talk about it, and that's kind of where it is. Like right now, with everything going on, still a pandemic going on, but stuff opening back up, I'm kind of, in that mode where I'm like, okay, it's, the juices are flowing because, we're all going through something, racially, physically, every we're going through something, everybody. So it's like, now my juices are like really flowing. So it's kind of helping me out,
Yeah, there's a change. There's every once in a while, it seems like every 30, 40 years, there's a serious change in the country, the society, and we're at that now. So, I mean, I say put the foot forward and progress.